Hey you guys, it's Jenn from Crazy Speech World. My computer just went black. There we go. It's my first real scope from SLP Bloggers Live, so I'm excited to be here tonight. I'll let some people come in before I get started. And if you're joining me, hey Hallie. I would love to hear what your name is, where you're from, and if you do lesson plans. I feel like that's a big, totally counts as a break, Mallory. I can't believe you're writing reports on the weekend. That's not good. But tell me if you do lesson plans for therapy, like formal ones. I know a lot of us do things in our heads. Sorry, I'm so shaky. But do you have to do formal lesson plans for your administration? Diana is just getting ready to figure yours out for the week, I guess. That's usually my Sunday evening activity too. I do not have formal ones. Good. Quick note of activities. That sounds like what I do, Elizabeth. Scribble down a brief note so I have a plan for me. Yes. I feel like that's probably what most of us do just because we are short on time. Hey, Carrie. You're not required, but you do them. Okay. I would love to hear why you do them. Because I have my reasons, but I think we're all different in the way that we do things. Okay, I'm going to flip this bad boy around. Hey friends! Sunday, I'm keeping it real with no makeup, so don't judge me. I can't see. My brain can't keep up with goals and plans. I agree. We're so different, right? We're all different people. We work different ways. So some of us write things down and some of us can keep things in our head. I certainly cannot keep it all in my head, so I have my own system. No formal ones, but I have goals written down. It sounds like that's what most people do. I'll tell you, I'll be honest, very honest. I hate lesson planning. But I think I'm definitely a better SLP when I do them. And I'll tell you why. I feel like when I take the time to actually think through what I want to do, I'm thinking about my kids, I'm planning things out, and I do a good job. I do a better job. I know a lot of times we do therapy on the fly, and I think we're probably all really good at that. But I think we can all agree when we sit down and take the time to actually plan things out, our kids have better therapy. So that's kind of what I wanted to show you how I do that. And obviously I don't do it every week, but I try to do it as much as I can. So here's what I do. I have my own little thing. I don't personally have to turn in any lesson plans, thank God, because I don't think I'm that organized. My administration doesn't require them for me, so that's a blessing. Yes. Well, that's part of my data collection. I do have to, write things down and keep track of things. So when I have my data sheets, they have my kids' goals on them. So I always know what they need to work on. And I kind of feel like that's separate from lesson plans. I feel like when I write lesson plans, I'm planning the activities that I'm going to do, but keeping in mind my students' goals. My students' goals are always with me because they're on my students' data sheets. That's a really helpful trick. If you don't already do that and you're doing a lot of therapy on the fly, having your students' goals right on your data sheet is going to help you be able to meet their needs in that way if you're not lesson planning. So my favorite thing for lesson planning it's changed because my caseload changed. Most of you know I moved over the summer. So I'm in a new school, and I didn't anticipate I do that too. Diana, I pull out more things and I don't use them all, but that's good. That's a good problem to have, right? You want to be over prepared. But I have a caseload of 90 now, which is completely insane. And I know that with that big of a caseload, I need to be prepared because my day is like back to back to back to back to back. And I'm sure a lot of you are like that. Yeah, 90. I can't, I'm glad you feel my pain. I came from a school where I only had a caseload of 55 and no self-contained rooms or anything. So at my new school, I have 90 students. I am the only speech therapist there for now. We're working on that. And then I have 2 self-contained pre-Ks and 2 self-contained behavior rooms. So I'm lesson planning a lot more than I ever was. What I do is very broad though, just because I feel like that's easier. So when I'm planning, I'm going to go in and I'm going to just pick 4 areas. And I'm going to show you my planner. See, somebody else with the high caseload, and it's crazy. I'm glad it's not just me. All right, you're going to get a peek at my crazy desk, so don't judge me. But this is the page that I do to kind of broadly plan what I'm doing for the week. So I have my books, I have my crafts, I have whatever materials I have, and then I write down other things. This used to work for me so well when my caseload was smaller. Now that my caseload is bigger, it's not working as well. It's probably the best way to put it. But this is a really good broad plan for me and what I like to keep track of. So I do themes. You probably, if you follow me, you know that. I love theme therapy. It's my favorite. I have a full theme calendar, so my year is planned out at the very beginning. And so when I have my theme, this is what I pull. So where do I get all these ideas? My favorite place is Pinterest, which I'm sure is not a surprise to most of you, because you're probably Pinterest queens too. Let me hear it. I could tell by all the hearts. You guys love Pinterest too. Okay, so what I do when I'm planning with Pinterest is, I'm going to show you my screen. And mine might look a little bit different than yours because I have a business page, but overall kind of the same thing. So when you pull up your Pinterest, it's like all of the people that you follow and the pins, the latest pins that they've got. But, you know, a lot of people don't know about that search bar. So that search bar is my best friend. So when I go in, whatever theme I'm using, I can type it in and you can already see my history. I'm doing rainforest this week. So if I'm looking for a craft or I'm looking for, you know, books or materials, you can go in and type that and it's going to bring up all of those things. And then these little categories up at the top, you can look for more specific things, gives you more ideas. So if you're not utilizing that on Pinterest, I definitely suggest it because it makes things, it helps you find the things that you're looking for. So then all of these awesome crafts come up and I've got all these brand new ideas that I've not done with my kids that we can do this week. So I decided to actually, when I started looking into doing the rainforest stuff, I ended up deciding to do it for a couple of weeks because there's so much awesome activities out there. So we're going to make these frogs and we're going to do these snakes. So if you go to my, let's go to my profile and you'll see all of my boards. Then I can organize my boards by what I want to do in each month and save all of those fun ideas. So that helps me a lot when I'm planning. Pinterest is just, it's my new Google. So if you're not using it in that way and you're just using it to go in and see what everybody's pinning that you follow, this is a new way to think about it as like a Google or a search engine, because you can go in and look for just about anything that you need. Yes, exactly. Jamie, I do the same thing. there's so many ideas. There's so many good ideas. And honestly, when you find a really good theme, you can do things forever. I mean, you can just keep going and going and going, and which is great, because if your kids are into it, then it's gonna, they're gonna learn more. So I think you kind of follow their lead, and if they keep love learning with that theme, then keep doing it. I mean, there's no right or wrong way. But anyway, I'm gonna flip you around again if I can figure it out. So that's grades. I have pre-K through 5th grade. I haven't done Joe Beth, seriously, if you haven't tried doing theme therapy yet, you should give it a whirl. I started doing it like 4 years ago, and it makes planning so easy, because you can find a theme that you want to do, and a lot of it can be around the seasons or around the holidays. That's kind of what I started with, and then you can build around that. So like for April, I knew that everything's growing and we're doing spring, but also it's Earth Day, and we can talk about endangered animals, and then you start looking at, things for endangered animals and the rainforest. And then I started finding all these awesome things with the rainforest that you can do. So really, it just, once you get into it and get in a groove, there's no limit. And it's so much fun because your kids are actually learning about other things. Yes. I keep my stuff, that could be a whole nother scope. I keep my stuff in crates by month. So like I always have an example craft, and I keep those all together, stored by the month that they're doing. And some years I try to mix things up. Like I've never done rainforest ever before, but this year I'm doing it, and I think it's going to be really fun because there's so many good ideas out there. So I don't have anything, so I'm trying to build that theme up, and yeah, I keep everything. So then when I come back next year, and if I'm going to use that theme again, it's all there. And the good thing about being in a new school this year, I've been able to reuse a lot of stuff that I didn't have, that I had done previously, which makes life a lot easier with such a big caseload. But does anybody else have any other questions? If not, I am going to jump off, but I wanted to tell you thank you so much for joining me tonight. Periscope makes me nervous being in front of the camera, but I love sharing my ideas with you guys, and I'm so glad that you were able to join me tonight. And I will be here the first Sunday. Thanks, Hal. The first Sunday of every month, talking about planning and prepping. So if you have any ideas for me, please, thanks Carrie, thank you Mallory. If you have any ideas or stuff that you would love for me to talk about, please feel free to shoot me an email, slpgonewild@gmail.com, or visit my blog, crazyspeechworld.com. Thank you guys, they're so sweet. I hope you have a great week, and if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. I'll see you later. Bye.